What's up YouTube, this is Mountains97 and welcome to another episode of my WWE 2K15 Universe Mode. Here we are, this is Friday Night SmackDown. Let's take a look at this week's match card. We've got AJ Lee taking on Natalya and Brie Bella, a triple threat matchup to kick off the show. We've got the Usos teaming up against the New Day. And we saw Goldust make a guest appearance on Raw, so Kofi and Big E making a guest appearance on SmackDown. Kind of bets out that sort of deal. William Regal will go one-on-one with Rey Mysterio. Cody Rhodes will continue his challenge to become the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. This week he goes one-on-one with Damien Sandow. Titus O'Neil is going to go one-on-one with Darren Young. We've seen, they're on a bit of a losing streak as of late. They both requested this matchup to kind of try to potentially get rid of any frustrations they may have with each other. Try to get that out of the way now so they can look towards the future. And the main event, Ryback one-on-one with Wade Barrett. So as we can see, Brie Bella wins the triple threat matchup. She actually defeated AJ Lee. The Usos defeat the New Day. So the New Day's losing streaks as a team continues, whereas the Usos continue their winning ways. William Regal knocks off Rey Mysterio. So that's a big victory there for Regal. And we're going to go ahead and get into the matches as we're starting it off. Cody Rhodes one-on-one with Damien Sandow. And we do know that Cody Rhodes and Sandow have faced off in the past on both occasions. Well, actually, on one occasion, Cody Rhodes got a victory. On another occasion, Damien Sandow managed to score the win over Rhodes. And especially considering the prize that is on the line for this matchup, of course, Cody Rhodes, he has to continue to win, or else he will not be able to face Ryback for the Intercontinental Championship at the Elimination Chamber. And if Cody Rhodes would lose this matchup, then Damien Sandow would be named the #1 contender for Ryback's Intercontinental title. So Cody Rhodes really, he cannot afford to lose. At the same time, whoever's in these matches, they're going to be very motivated to win, because this isn't just some nonchalant matchup with really no implications. No, if they can knock off Cody Rhodes, they'll get an Intercontinental Championship opportunity, and that's something I'm sure Damien Sandow desperately needs at this point in his career. He's been kind of ignored here on the SmackDown brand. He's been overshadowed by some of the other talent on the brand. So Sandow, he's looking to, a victory here and an Intercontinental Championship matchup with the big guy, the Elimination Chamber, would definitely give Sandow a good opportunity to kind of set his footing here on the brand and try to get himself, some more TV time, some more focus. But as we see, a nice knee lift there, taking Cody Rhodes out. Cody Rhodes, though, he's had a long journey. Ever since he defeated Christian back a couple of months ago, it's really seemed like Cody Rhodes is on the cusp of becoming #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. He just hasn't been able to make that final step. He hasn't been able to earn himself the #1 contender's title. Of course, on the TLC pre-show, he came close. He got his opportunity in a match against the Big Show. Of course, he lost that matchup. So Cody Rhodes, he was just one step away. He was just a fingertip away from getting that brass ring, but he was unsuccessful. But now this is probably the closest he's gonna get, and this is going to be no easy task, because even if he can beat Sandow here tonight, he'll still have two other opponents he'll have to face. And of course, if he loses any of those matchups, he's done. His opportunity to become #1 contender goes out the window. So he's got to hold nothing back here in these matches. We saw last week he faced Rey Mysterio in a matchup. Well, that went down to the wire. Cody Rhodes nearly lost that contest, but he just managed to sneak out with a win over Mysterio. But tonight, Damien Sandow, he's probably going to be more aggressive than Mysterio was, as Sandow has more of a need to establish himself here on the show. So he's going to be that much more desperate, and you know what they say, dead men do desperate things. So I think Cody Rhodes is going to have to be on his A game. He's going to have to, he's going to have to keep a careful eye on Damien Sandow, because one slip up and Cody Rhodes' opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship will go up in smoke. So Cody Rhodes right now with a nice counter to Sandow. Going for a suplex, but Sandow counters into a neck breaker, taking Cody Rhodes down. And it's Sandow right now who has control of the matchup. But Cody Rhodes, he counters the DDT, and he takes Damien Sandow down to the mat. And delivers a kick to the back now of Sandow. And of course, later on tonight, we'll be seeing a clash between both members of the Primetime Players, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. We know they've been on a bit of a losing streak. And of course, last night on Main Event, the last episode on Main Event, Darren Young managed to pick up a victory over William Regal. Or maybe that was a week ago. I'm so confused. I'm confusing myself now. But anyway, Darren Young, he did get a victory. No, I'm pretty sure it was last week on Main Event. Yeah, but Titus O'Neil, he could very well have a bit of an inferiority complex. They have faced off in the past. That was way back in September to qualify for the King of the Ring tournament at Night of Champions, and Darren Young was victorious in that contest. So, in the one time they faced off in the past, Darren Young scored the victory, but maybe tonight could be the opportunity for Titus O'Neil to get a win. But even so, they're using this matchup to try to vent their frustrations that they may have with each other, try to get that all behind them so they can move forward in the tag team division. But this matchup tonight could very well, worsen whatever tensions they may have between each other. But look at Sandow here. Nice pump handle slam, taking Cody Rhodes down there. Nice move there from Sandow. He goes into the cover, but Cody Rhodes kicks out at 2. And Sandow, he's just maintained firm control over this matchup as Cody Rhodes. He's in danger of losing this one. It's been all Sandow for the majority of this matchup. But Rhodes, he's starting to fire up some offense here. And another counter to Sandow. Cody Rhodes, he could be about to mount a comeback here. He's going outside here. Not sure exactly what he was going to do there, but he's back in the ring now. And Sandow went for an Irish whip. Cody Rhodes countered. He's got Sandow over there in the corner. But instead, he's not sure exactly what he's trying to do. Oh, he's going after the announce table now. And I think it's kind of weird. Why are there there's 3 monitors, but only 2 commentators? What am I saying? Why do they need 3 monitors? I don't know. Maybe they had an idea that they might, or maybe that's for future games if they are going to implement a 3rd commentator over there in the booth. I don't know. Or maybe they had an idea they were going to do 3, and then they figured, I don't know, that might be too much work, because think it probably took to get the commentary for this year's game, and I have to say the commentary has stepped up a little bit compared to previous games. It's not all complete random one-liners that don't quite make a whole lot of sense. There's actually some decent backstories to these characters now that they've implemented throughout the commentary, and it does sound a bit more natural, as they did do the recordings in with each other. So whenever they start one of their little speeches, their little stories, they at least kind of communicate with each other, so it doesn't sound quite as forced. It sounds a bit more natural, and I think it sounds a little bit better. Not to say that the commentary is great, but it is definitely far improved. It's far greater than it has been in previous years. But anyway, I think I might actually get to a point where I'm just going to mute the commentary team, because I know I've gotten suggestions to do that in the past. And at first I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, because then it takes out the announcer. But then again, I'm talking over them anyway. And if it's a big matchup, like a title match or something where they do the fancy introductions, then maybe I'll turn it back on for that. But I think in the future episodes, I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to implement that, but I think sometime in the future I'm just going to mute the commentary team and just have the crowd audio. I'm not too sure. I'm considering it. Probably is going to happen, but we'll see how that goes. Right now, Sandow runs off the ropes here, looking for a full head of steam as he takes Rhodes down with a clothesline. As Sandow still in control in this one. Cody Rhodes, he's in danger. He's in a lot of trouble right now. Cody Rhodes counters. Nice counter there from Rhodes. Oh wait, he's got Sandow here. Crossroads! Crossroads from Cody Rhodes. And that should do it. Crossroads right there, he hits it, and I think that's it. Cover on Sandow, 2 counts, and this match is over. Cody Rhodes survives for yet another week as he defeated Mysterio last week, and now he has defeated Damien Sandow. So Cody Rhodes, he's victorious here tonight. And he'll survive for another week, but he's got 2 more weeks to go before the Elimination Chamber, which means 2 more opponents he's going to have to defeat. We'll see if Cody Rhodes has the mental toughness to be able to survive. But now it's time we move on to the second matchup, as it is Titus O'Neil going one-on-one with his tag team partner, Darren Young. And we know that the Primetime Players have been on a losing streak. Remember, last week they lost to the Usos in tag team action. 2 weeks ago, they lost to the Wyatt family when the tag team titles were on the line. And then, you know, it just kind of goes back from there. Survivor Series, they lost to the Wyatt family in their first encounter, although that was given the assist from Tons of Funk. They did score victory, however, on the TLC pre-show, but that obviously didn't win them the tag team titles as they went on to lose to the Wyatt family. So the Primetime Players, they're in a bit of a rut. They haven't been all that successful. They haven't exactly meeting their standards. Their goals have not been achieved. And, you know, their future as a tag team is in jeopardy. I think it's up in the air at this point. So we can see they're facing off here tonight. And I don't think this is so much as the Primetime Players are disbanding. I think it's far from that, but tonight they're just kind of using this matchup to, like, any frustrations they may have with each other, any sort of problems, or, you know, if there's some sort of an inferiority complex between the two, like maybe there's a weak link in the tag team, or anything of that sort, any sort of complications they may have with one another. I think they're using this matchup here tonight to try to get those out of the way, put any troubles they have with each other behind them so they can move forward as a tag team and try to capture those elusive tag team championships that they haven't been able to grasp. And they've come close, but they just haven't had what it takes to capture the tag team titles yet. So tonight they're going to go one-on-one, and like I said earlier, Darren Young did win their last confrontation, so we'll see if that will be the case here tonight, or can Titus O'Neil score a victory over Darren Young. But here we go, nice clothesline there from Titus O'Neil, taking Darren Young down, but Darren back to his feet with a nice counter. It's just going to be interesting to see, because these two men have been teaming up for quite a long time now. They've been teaming up since about SummerSlam, around there, and you know, they have been a good tag team. They may not have won championship gold, but they have been a good tag team. They have scored their fair share of victories. They have looked impressive in the past. And you'd have to think, these two know each other's movesets so well. I mean, they've been working together for quite a long time now, over 6 months. And you'd have to think that these two, you know, they know each other inside and out. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two work together, or how they work as opponents. As big forearm there from Darren Young to the face of Titus O'Neil. But as the tag team division currently goes, I mean, we did see on Monday Night Raw that Booker T and Goldust scored a victory over the Wyatt family, and it has been made official that at the Elimination Chamber, the Tag Team Championship matchup will be the Wyatt family taking on the team of Booker T and Goldust. So the Primetime Players, even if they can set aside their differences and somehow win several tag team matchups before Elimination Chamber, between now and Elimination Chamber, even then they still, the soonest they could possibly get a tag team title opportunity is WrestleMania, and that's if they can, you know, put aside or work out their frustrations they may have between each other, and, you know, find some sort of formula that works for them where they can score some victories and be on the same page. As they seem to have, seems like lately there's just been something off about the Primetime Players since they lost to the Wyatt family. So hopefully they can sort out their problems and they can get themselves in better shape to capture the titles sometime in the future. But for now, we do know that the Wyatt family will be defending their tag team titles at the Elimination Chamber. And look at Darren Young. He's got a submission hold locked in here. This chin lock, the knee right in the back of Titus O'Neil. Titus, he may be forced to tap out, but no, he manages to slip out of it. But Darren Young wasting a little time trying to go for the cover while Titus is down, but Titus kicks out at 2. And I do apologize in some, I mean, it hasn't been really in any recent episodes of Universe Mode, but when the commentary tends to do that whole like voice change thing. Wait a minute, Darren Young delivers the gut check to Titus O'Neil, and that could do it. 1, 2, 3. Darren Young has defeated Titus O'Neil here tonight. So Darren Young, this is the second time the Primetime players have faced each other, and it's the second time Darren Young has walked out victorious. So hopefully, for the Primetime players' sake, they got all of their, they got all their anger they may have with each other. They got it all out here, and hopefully they can coexist in the future and maybe try to take another crack at those tag team titles. But for now, Darren Young gets the victory, and hopefully Titus O'Neil can, hopefully he can stomach that. Hopefully, see if Darren Young going for a handshake. See if they're on the same page. No! Titus O'Neil swats the hand of Darren Young away. So Titus O'Neil appears that there's more under the surface between these two. Titus O'Neil using the handshake, so he's frustrated. And, obviously so. He's just lost a match, and after, he's on a losing streak. Primetime players have been on a losing streak as of late, so Titus O'Neil, it's quite evident that he'd be frustrated, and it makes sense. Hopefully, though, in the back, once Titus O'Neil's got some time to cool down, and, think about that loss, hopefully his attitude can change a little bit, and he and Darren Young can get back on the same page. Although that worries me. That little, the sign of disrespect there from Titus O'Neil, that worries me a little bit. Anyway, it's time to move on to the main event. Bad news, Barrett going one-on-one with the Intercontinental Champion, Ryback. But as I was saying earlier, where, the commentary does that whole, the voice just randomly drops, and it gets deeper for some reason, and it, like, skips. I don't know what does that. There's nothing really I've been able to see that causes that, except, I don't know, I'm watching the video playback on my computer, and I have a program open to record the audio. I don't know if it's just my computer doesn't have, like, the processing or whatever to run both always at the same time. I don't know exactly what causes it. I don't know what does it. And I know there's going to be a little bit on this episode because I was interrupted, so I had to, like, break the commentary at one point, and I was listening to it back, and there was a little bit of it in the first half. Hopefully it's not doing it again in the second half. But normally with episodes, I'll normally just get the full commentary done, and I won't be interrupted. So I have no idea if it happens until it's in post-editing, and then by that point, if I tried to redo all the commentaries that in the past have had those sort of voice whatever issues, then I wouldn't be making really much progress, because I'd have to do the whole thing over again, and then by that point it would start to get annoying after a while. And if I'm not enjoying making these videos, then I'm not gonna want to upload them as much, and they're not going to be as fun for me to make, and they're not going to be as fun for you, the viewer, to watch. So ultimately, it's my decision, and it doesn't bother me too much about the voice thing, but I guess that's a bit different because I don't watch my own videos. But I don't know. As long as I'm enjoying making the videos, I think really that's all that matters. As long as I'm enjoying making them, hopefully if I'm having fun, hopefully there's someone out there who will have fun watching the videos and watching me have fun. But anyway, let's focus in on the main event now, as I just went on a little side topic thingy. I went on a tangent, but now let's focus in as it's Ryback, Wade Barrett, one-on-one here tonight. And Ryback, he's held that Intercontinental Championship since SummerSlam. He's held the title for quite a long time. And what about Wade Barrett? Wade Barrett, for, almost the same amount of time, he's been trying to get a crack at the World Heavyweight Championship. Remember, back at the Vengeance pay-per-view, he went head-to-head with Sheamus for the world title, although he didn't get the victory on that occasion. At SummerSlam, Barrett was in the Battle Royal for the world title, although he once again came up short. He was in the King of the Ring tournament, and he made it all the way up to the finals of the SmackDown bracket, the semifinals of the tournament overall, where he went head-to-head with Mark Henry. And, well, he lost that matchup, and we know what's happened to Mark Henry since then. He's become quite the dominant World Heavyweight Champion. And then, of course, Wade Barrett, he disappeared from the scene for a while. And, he was in the Survivor Series tag team, which included the likes of Randy Orton Big Show, Cody Rhodes, and Ryback. So these two, they were both part of that Survivor Series tag team matchup, which was won by Team Orton. So Barrett, you know, in the record books, it does say he got the victory in that matchup. But still, Barrett, I think, was the first one eliminated in that matchup. So he hasn't exactly had the greatest of success, the greatest of pay-per-view success here in Universe Mode. But tonight, in a matchup with Ryback, I mean, Ryback has defeated Wade Barrett in the past. He's defeated him once before, so hopefully, you know, Barrett, he's looking for some redemption. As he scores the victory there, I missed what move he hit, but whatever it was enough to put Ryback away. I didn't see what he hit, but whatever it was, clearly got the job done. It might have actually been that spine buster that put Ryback away. I think it was. So Wade Barrett, he picks up the victory here tonight. I'm not exactly sure. I guess Ryback just underestimated his opponent, and Cody Rhodes, you know, calling Ryback out on that. But I want to thank you all for watching this episode of Universe Mode. Keep on YouTubing.